Ghost of Tsushima, New Game Plus, Lethal Plus.
Lethal Plus?
Yeah, lethal, that as in the difficulty.
I haven't got the notification yet. Where are you? Where's your face? Oh, there's the last week, so I'll just use that.
When did I put this on? Where am I? Okay, evidently I did
All
put
of
that
the
on.
questions. Where am I?
When did I put this on? Where am I? God, I accidentally. I guess I left Jin on a bit of a bender last time then.
I think you were doing it as like the final things you were doing. I think you were messing around with the costumes while we had
Yeah.
our last bit of chatting because you didn't want to do you didn't want to get like halfway through a mission because we ended up staying on a little bit longer.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, I've decided
Okay.
to put you on my iPad this time.
It's time to choose an outfit.
I still think the broken armor is badass. Like
Broken
you just
armor it is. Let's
wandering
go.
around with like you kind of look, it's like a ghost, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's risen from the dead, but he still wears his broken armor.
Just like a ghost. Maybe I should
I thought you were gonna
put
say
on
just
a
like a git.
hat. Let's see. Should I put on a headband? I forgot how many headpieces there were in this game.
Hmm.
Oh, I know. I'll go for the what's it called? The Delsin. Which one was that called?
Uh, could it be smoke or smoke related?
That sounds possible. I may have already gone past it for all I know. If I have,
God, you have so much stuff though, dude.
I mean, I did get everything.
Hmm.
Okay, it turns out I did go past it.
That's awkward.
Oh,
Oh
Band of the
wait,
Second
go
Sun. There
back
it is.
go back to the bottom. Oh, there you go. You found it straight away. Okay, yeah, go back to the very bottom. That hat is badass and kind of makes me think more of Delson anyway.
Oh, Sugi's Casa hat.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ah, okay. That is gold
Delson would
indeed.
definitely wear that.
I should put on a mask. Let's see. Let's go with that. Yeah, boy, this is looking good.
Hmm. Looking good.
Right, let's find out. Let's get some missions going. Right, let's track blood on the grass. No, let's track blacksmith. God, they're both all the way down here.
Hmm.
And I'm going the wrong way straight away. Nice.
Hmm.
Out of curiosity, how much how far through Miss Marvel are you?
Have not watched any more since last time we spoke,
Ah,
unfortunately. Have you?
I've seen up to and including episode 4.
Is that the most recent one that came out yesterday?
The second most recent one because there's still 5.
Okay, so I'm 20 minutes through that episode, so we could potentially talk about the first 20 minutes.
oh, I've definitely bit off more than did you hear? He said lying to himself. Ow.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna actually just, I've got, like, I did have you on, kind of, half minimized so I could see the chat, but I think you'll tell me if there's thingy to check, won't you? So I'll be able to just switch back to it really quickly, because it's really quick on the iPad,
Okay.
on the YouTube app. I can just easily get back to it, so.
Okay. That's definitely all the rust shaken off. Where did I leave my horse?
In
Is that a guy
in the
over there?
fridge.
I mean, I could use some extra.
Horsage.
Yeah, need to get some of my resolve back since I. Okay. As long as I don't get destroyed by this guy.
Hmm.
Oh, who am I kidding? Of course, I'm going to be the one doing the destroying. End suffering. Alright, that's better. Okay. Back on
Ooh,
full-ish
end
life.
is suffering.
New
Fatality.
suicide.
Also today, in the background, ladies and gentlemen, I will be badly playing the opening of Watch Dogs 2 again and trying not to kill anyone. Well, not trying, succeeding in not killing anyone. I will be the best of the people. I will kill none of the people.
What shall I do about this?
Jesus. Fucking rocket launch. Jeez, did that kill all of them?
Not all of them.
Surely it's a bit of a low honor moment to kill a horse.
Yeah, that was not cash money of me.
Cash money.
That was not very cash money of me.
That's an old reference. That's an old reference.
How old? It can't be that old. We're probably talking like 5 years?
That is quite old.
That is quite old.
It's so old it's making me feel old and cough.
How far did we get up to in that list last time?
I think we got to Death Stranding, which is number 39.
And where was Tsushima again?
Number 44.
Oh my god, I nailed it on the description then.
Oh, is that what you call? Hang on. Oh, on the description. Why won't it show me the description of this video? There you go. Playing the 44th best Sony game. Oh, you're not salty at all.
Never.
Featuring Dylan trying to remember how to play Watch Dogs 2. Yep, thank you. God, you have a lot of patience typing on the bloody PlayStation 4 controller. Jesus, my respect for you goes up so much every time I realise how much effort you put into this stuff, or into just everyday things. Why is my quality at 480? Jesus.
My output isn't 480, is it?
No, I think your output is like 720,
It
but
should be 720, like.
yeah, there we go,
promises.
it's better now. My YouTube just defaulted to 480 for some stupid reason.
Oh, okay.
Marcus is judging me, so I'm just going to temporarily pause Watch Dogs while we... Actually, I'm just gonna turn off the screen so I don't get a screen thingamajig and charge my controller while we go through this list, because I'm not gonna do anything. And...
Come on
Plug.
down.
Come on down. Okay. Ah, shit, I closed the magazine. Hang on, bear with me. This is very professional. Okay, so name a couple games that haven't appeared on this list yet that you think should appear.
Damn, that's hard because there's been so many and I'm not sure which ones. DMC was on the list. God, even Kingdom Hearts was on the list.
Just think of some of your favourites and then we'll...
Has Infamous been on the list yet?
Mm-mm.
Infamous hasn't been on the list yet, okay. Well, there's one, Infamous. Let me think. Medieval isn't going to be on this list. I'm not holding out too much hope considering it's been this far through.
Hmm.
What else? What else? What else?
I still can't believe you haven't played Journeyman.
What about Ratchet and Clank? Is that on this list somewhere?
I don't remember. We'll find out, I guess. But once we're setting the expectations of what you think should be on this list, we will discover together.
There's arrows. Oh, what?
A tree is shooting arrows at you. Oh, fuck! He got betrayed by his own teammate.
I think some of them were bandits and some of them were Mongols.
That's true, actually. I've come across people fighting each other.
Dun, 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 dun,
One time I came across them all fighting a fuck-off really big bear.
Yeah.
Hey, that subtitle's gonna be fun.
Oh,
Wait a
God,
second.
that other part.
If I just swear concurrently, does that mean that the entire bit of the subtitles are just going to be just blanked out?
As much as I'd love to find out.
You actually want to make money off this?
Well, that's a fair point.
Are you? Can you monetize this? Do you
I don't
monetize
think I can at present because you need a certain amount of subscribers and views to do so.
Oh, right.
Fox Den.
Okay, shit, fuck, bugger, crap, shit. I'm not very creative. I'm just trying to get the whole, like, I think that'll be it.
Library.
That was quite a few.
Yeah, that should do it.
Yeah. Okay, number 39, Death Stranding. I think once we get a bit closer, I'll start reading a couple bits of the actual, like, big article ones. I mean, this is one of those, but I honestly can't be asked to read all that while I've got an ice cream. And Death Stranding I haven't played. Have you played it?
I haven't played it, but I know a little about it.
Okay. I think
Like, the guy
we'll
who
get
plays the
into
main
the full
character?
ones. Yeah.
Like, he plays Daryl Dixon in The
Walking Dead, yeah. Wait, have you seen Walking Dead?
Some of it. I think I stopped watching about halfway through season 4.
Oh, right.
I mean, I could go back to it if it turns out that, like, I'm missing out on the best parts.
I think I'm on... I think season 7, episode 1, maybe?
Season 7 episode.
The thing is, I'm a really big fan of the comic, and so I was always very tentative with starting the show, but God, the show's good in a lot of ways, but also it's quite, it's quite difficult at times. But I'm
Indeed.
basically kind of trying to just enjoy it as its own beast. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, Death Stranding, I know 2 things about it. One,
Daryl Dixon.
Daryl Dixon is the main character. 2, it's directed by Hideo Kojima, who made the Metal Gear Solid games.
Have you ever played any of them?
Yeah, I've played 3. I've played almost all of 1. And I think one of the spin-offs. I mean, it is a series, like, 3 is an amazing game. I don't know if you've ever played Metal Gear Solid 3, but
No.
bloody hell, it's really good.
I've played the opening of 5, which was really
God, I
cool.
forgot about 5 as well.
Because it was
Yeah.
free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
But it was so weird. I was like, oh, this is really cool and atmospheric. Oh, we're talking crazy shit, okay.
Yeah, it's a weird series, but, like, the gameplay is so good and very detailed. Like, some of the best stealth gameplay that you'll...
I had a similar experience to Skyrim, in which I played Metal Gear Solid 5, and nothing else for a while. and then I stopped and never went back.
Sorry, I just got a good
Perfect dodge, perfect counter.
perfect parry.
Hmm.
God, I love hitting the perfect parry. Like the way the slowdown, the effects, the ding! Like it's so satisfying.
Oh, that's so much better. Okay. I'll put you over my hood, my headset over my hood, so now it's not crushing my brain so much. It's a classic problem.
Hmm.
Okay. Finished ice cream. We are now onto the list properly. We love number 38. We love Katamari.
Oh, Katamari. Huh. That's the one where you're the little green guy rolling up a big ball of stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely not a clue, but it's got a funky looking guy on the picture, so I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, that's
It,
one of
it
those.
looks like a guy who's half wrapping paper and half court jester.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Okay, number 37, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You know how I said you're gonna fucking hate me because your favourite games have all been at the back end of this list, and now we're getting into the front end of this list, and they just randomly put games that I really like, but I can agree are in really weird spots.
Like, it's a good game. Yeah, it's just what's it doing beneath that? What's it doing on a higher
But
position than Ghost of
oh, it's
Tsushima?
like yeah. I mean that's the thing because I fucking adore. There's a bleep. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I got it for 12 quid on discount, and I think that's like the best 12 quid I've ever spent. That game is such a fun time.
Is this the logging? This is
It's
the
the
logging
most
area, isn't it?
mogging.
It's the logging base.
What are you talking about, Ghost?
Yeah.
Or is this okay?
Damn, I've been seen.
It happens to us all.
This is not a bow. Oh, this is not a bow. Okay. Okay, I just need to think of a plan.
Watching
Really.
Bradley struggle, ladies and gentlemen, while I just ruin his soul with this game list. It's great. He is my long-suffering friend, and it's great when he's playing the game because it allows me to... Well, because he's quite supportive when I play games. When he's playing games, I'm just like, let's ruin his day even more. I don't do it deliberately. It's just a happy coincidence.
Yeah, Odyssey is something I would put on this list. It's
I
just the
don't-
placement of it is I have.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it
with.
depends on whether this is supposed to be a list of quality or the people who made the list, like, fun, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a fun game, but I don't
Oh
think it's a
hell yeah!
good game.
Oh hell
Like,
yeah! Again.
yeah, like,
Swing.
it's the most fun I've had with a video game, you know, it just stood so far apart in just how much I enjoyed myself
Forgot
playing that
about
game.
part one. Dude, I forgot that about in Act 1, how sometimes if you assassinate someone, Jin will just, like, because he just said it had to be done. Like,
Yeah.
he's got to justify it to himself. He's got to... But, like, he
He's still
stops
in
doing
that kind
that.
of yeah, he's still in that kind of honor mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this one they say, how do you make a great Assassin's Creed without assassins? Nor their oh wait, hang on, you haven't played most of it. This might be spoilers. Never mind, I won't say any more of this. Okay, number 36, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, that's
There's a
probably
lot of
fair.
remakes on this list, to be honest.
Huh.
There's like a weird number of remakes. Number 35, Resident Evil 4.
Oh, definitely.
Number 34, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. There's a lot of 4s on this list as well. If that was a hint, by the way, as to
Sorry,
stuff going...
I didn't hear that last part, because Jin had a flashback because of assassinating someone. He's struggling with his morality and his values.
Well, tell Jin to flash back quieter. Okay,
Oh,
now I said there's a lot of fours on this list, and
a lot
if
of
that's a
fours.
kind of hint of what is approaching.
Uh,
Castle.
you're not going to make me really happy and say that Crash 4 is on the list somewhere later down the line, are you?
I thought we already had Crash.
I mean, we had Crash Insane Trilogy.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, number 33, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Totally. Game's a masterpiece.
Number 32, Tetris Effect.
It's Tetris. I don't know if it needs to be that high up, but it's Tetris.
Yeah. Make Tetris, not war. Number 31, the Ratchet and Clank Trilogy, Classics HD.
Oh, seriously?
Are you serious being about the list or about being seen?
I got seen.
Because you just dealt with the guy who saw you, so I don't think it's really, you know, if you could kill them before they alert their buddies, you're still good.
So the Ratchet and Clank, right?
Ratchet and Clank at 31, the trilogy. Okay, number 30, Assassin's Creed 2.
I'd weigh in if I'd played it yet.
Yeah.
Nor voice crack.
Number 29. This is a fucking controversial one, okay?
Oh crap, here we go.
Number 29. Batman, Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum.
Wait, why Asylum?
Okay. Inspired by the 90s animated series and giving things a gritty twist, Arkham Asylum sees Batman stopping the Joker taking over the hospital. Metroidvania-like exploration means each gadget you gain opens up new wings to explore, ruled over by supervillains. Every element sells the Batman fantasy from Predator rooms where you pick goons off one by one to the rhythmic combat that has you systematically brutalizing enemies. But each succinct game, like they don't state why they chose that one over the others, and you'd think, you know, Arkham Knight perfected the gameplay, and Arkham City perfected the story on Arkham Asylum. I know it's the classic one that kind of defined superhero games for ages, but it feels weird that they chose Asylum, to me.
Oh crap, my thumb.
I'm guessing you got a headshot. Did you say you're dumb?
My thumb slipped off the thingy and released the arrow. That sounds like such such an excuse. I swear
I
to
think
God.
you still got the headshot when, you know, given my estimate of the 10-second delay, so you still got the marker that you made the hit, so you've got the chop arrows up as they're incoming, don't you?
Yeah. Oh my God, the damage that does. Oh, this is not looking good.
That shield, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Can you throw a thingy bomb at them?
I could. I'm just weighing up my options here.
Okay, let me know when you're ready for number 28.
Yeah, sure. Give me 28.
Tomb Raider 2, the 1997 one.
1997 one.
Yeah, very
the
old.
PS1 and all of that. Yeah,
Yep.
I hear that was very influential and stuff.
Some players might bark at the picky platforming that forces you to carefully line up jumps, but if you're prepared to meet Tomb Raider 2 on its own terms, the clambering in Lara's second outing is better than in a lot of modern attempts. Exploring is a rewarding challenge, something to complement the gunplay rather than merely break it up. The sequel hits the right spot with its mix of levels, feeling more ambitious than its predecessor, taking you everywhere from Venice to spooky Chinese temples. And who can forget trapping loyal butler Winston in the fridge?
I
don't know why that's such a common thing that people make jokes about. Like, how many people did that? Jesus. Number 27, Gran Turismo 7. I feel like they were just lining up the numbering in a way with some of these choices. It's like, oh, there's a 7, let's put it at 27.
Yeah, it's satisfying.
There's a 4, let's put it at 34. Oh no, Resident Evil 4 was 35, I'm wrong. Okay, number 26. Here's what I was playing the last time we did this list, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yay.
Yeah, which I think is a fucking astounding game, but it left a really bad taste in my mouth because of the final mission, which just post-completion resets you to, like, saying, oh, you haven't done the final mission.
Oh, one of those. Oh,
I don't mind it when games, like, you know, have it so you've done it, or whatever, but the fact that the final mission is still on my map after the fact...
Yeah.
You know, you come out of the credits, and then you go into the map and the quest, and it's like, oh, you could do the final mission again. And I'm like, I don't want to. I know you didn't want to do a state post you know, story because you know, whatever story reasons, but you could have still just. Anyway, I've ranted about this before. You don't need to hear it again.
Yeah, I imagine that I imagine it's not one of those cases where it's justified per se, because like sometimes, like if the ending features like your character dying or something, like fair enough. If I want to continue playing, then I've got to be before that. But or like there was one game I played where like such a monumental change happened to the world that it had to be reset if you wanted to continue playing, because it was just too different. Like, it was a different world practically.
I think, you know, I mean, Watch Dogs 2 does it in that it basically, once you've completed the final mission, it then says several hours ago or whatever.
Okay, that just happened.
But it still feels like you've completed it because it puts stuff on your.
Well, I can just do this.
Oh, you're gonna blow up the cart right while they're. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you better be scared or something. Some steel. Reclaim the stolen iron, I stole steel. That's an interesting one. Where were we? Something about Horizon Zero Dawn? Yeah, that was it. Tales of Symphonia does that, because, like, spoiler alert for a nearly
13-year-old game.
Nearly 2 decades year old, nearly 2 decade old game. But Tales of Symphonia. There's two worlds. There's two worlds because in the backstory it was one world that was split into two. The game, of course, takes place on these two worlds, and then in the ending, the worlds get remerged. So, of course, if you're doing post game, it has to be before that, because
otherwise the map gets completely.
Yeah, it would be a different map. It'd be different. Like you know, it's justifiable enough. It'd be too much to ask for them to not only make a new map, but like put all the old stuff in it somehow.
No, I know what you mean.
Fair enough, you know.
It's just a shame. Like, I mean, Watch Dogs 2 does it, but it does it in a way where it's like, okay, several hours ago, but you've still done the fun. It's just, I think it's just the difference of having it on the map.
So that's all it says, several hours ago. And then you play the game for a bit, and then it goes night, and then it goes day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Watch Dogs 2 basically just says, or it just says, you know, before, you know, I can't remember what it says. But that does it. It takes you back to before, so you can do, you know, basically because you can do the final mission before you do some of the side stuff. But then some of the side stuff will be like, oh, this doesn't really make sense if you've defeated the big bad.
Yeah, totally.
So they decide to kind of go back on that. But it does it, you know, you've still done it.
And it still like logs it as done in your journal.
Yeah, exactly.
But in Horizon Zero Dawn, it doesn't do that. Like, it just says,
no.
Damn,
it's just
that does
still there.
It's like, oh, you haven't beaten the game. It's like, yeah, I have. Look, I've beaten the game. Like, another one though that actually, yeah, that is all right. In Breath of the Wild's also like that.
We'll make it work.
But because like,
You can call me Lord Sakai.
I mean, it's another case of there wouldn't be enough there'd be too many changes, and like there wouldn't be any enemies to fight if it was strictly post game.
Yeah.
To help us rescue my brother from Azamo Bay.
That town's a fortress.
If the Mongols took it, we'll need an
Um,
army to penetrate the walls.
But yeah, what's the next game on the list then?
Number 25 is Yakuza 0.
Oh yeah, boy!
Let's have a
Oh, Yakuza 0, man, so good.
Now, Kenji.
I
I don't know if you've ever heard of the Yakuza series. I hadn't for a long time.
I've heard of it, but I have not. What's the word? I have not played it.
So I cannot recommend, especially Zero enough. Zero is a great Zero is just really good because it serves it's a prequel to 1, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Business with the enemy.
I keep the Mongols.
it's all right to start with, you know, like it doesn't. It's a game that works as the first game in the series if you so choose. That's what I did,
Anything for Taka.
and it works just as like it doesn't demand too much knowledge from you, you know.
Mm.
Like it explains
How bad is the
everything.
occupation in Azamo Bay?
It's not like, oh, you haven't played the first one, well now nothing's gonna make any sense at all. No, it makes total sense. Great gameplay, like really fun beat 'em up style gameplay. Really good, like it's got a really good mix because it's got these side quests that it calls sub stories, right? And those
Yeah.
can be, you know, those are like the really humorous parts of the game where like, you know, your character bumps into a movie director or something. He says, "Oh my God, you're just perfect for this role. Can you come in here real quick?" And you know, you end up directing a movie or something, and
There aren't many.
it's really silly and whimsical. And then the main plot is you know, a serious crime drama, and somehow, you know, somehow it just works. Like I was honestly a little skeptical myself when I started the game. I was like, what is this going to be? What was it actually going to be like? I can't recommend it enough, man. It's really good. Like yeah, I think Zero is a PlayStation hit now, so you can
Oh right,
So-
anyone can play it. Yeah.
yeah, it's nice and cheap on the on PS Store.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you there's a lot of content to them though, so like you know it's the kind of thing you might end up sinking a lot of hours into if you're not careful. But yeah, the story's quite you know it's you know the characters are great, the dialogue's good, and the gameplay's fun as hell. And not to mention the fact that the soundtrack is just like, oh god, so many good things you know you want to bump out in your car as you're driving, all stuff like c'est magnifique.
And that is when you really know that Bradley likes something, because he brings out the French only for specific times. Only if they're
I don't
special
even know
enough does he
French.
break out the French. Ah shit! No, stop! Ah,
Like the other
fudge.
thing is that it's such a massive series at this point. There's 8 mainline games, not counting spin-offs. You know,
The Mongols drop.
like
Yes.
so like if like it's one of those things where it's like there's a like how Assassin's Creed, there's loads of those games.
Mm.
I always find it nice when you start a series and it's like, whoa, this is a great series, and you find out there's like 7 other games. It's like, oh yeah.
Vantage point to scout. Remember, no alarms. We do this quietly.
Because one thing that makes me sad is when you know when you play a game and you just have such a good time with it, and then you get to the end and that's the only one in the series, or there's only like one other or something, and it's just like, damn. I wish I could do it all over again, kind of thing. I wish I had more. But with series that are that big, it's just like, oh yes, I'll get tired of it before I run out.
Well, it also allows you to kind of pick and choose because if they change something or they add
Yeah,
something
true.
that, you know, like that completely enhances the whole series or you just don't like, then you've got, you know, different ones.
Yeah. You know, one thing I'm really surprised with
Mm.
Sony and the PlayStation Store, the fact that you still can't gift games to your friends over PlayStation Store.
Yeah, that is a bit weird,
Like, what?
actually.
Why? Why not? Why can't I do that?
I mean, yeah, whenever I've wanted to do it, I had to just log in to whoever I was buying it for's account temporarily, put my card on it, and
Oh my god, I hadn't even considered that as a possibility.
yeah, I've bought my brother a couple games, but I've just done it on his account and just said, "Hey, just don't look at your thing for a while," and then yeah, I'll just buy him the game and then log back. Yeah, remove my card and log back out.
Mm.
Easy. It's not. Yeah, it would be great if you could. Actually, I think. Oh no, I think you used to be able to. Actually, I think it's one of those where it's
No.
like
They took
something
out the
went.
feature because no one used it or something.
Not no one used it. I think there was actually problems with it and stuff
Oh,
where
right.
I don't know if like people were using, you know, other people's accounts to give themselves games and stuff, like
Oh,
hacking
right.
into accounts and using if someone had
Yeah.
their card on their account, they'd friend themselves and then use that person's card to gift themselves a game.
Mm.
I feel like that was possibly what happened. Why? I don't know. Because I do remember there used to be an option on stuff on certain things on the store, but I don't think it like PS3 kind of era. I think it might have been around, but I don't know. I think it might have completely gone by PS4 time. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but yeah, no, I do remember seeing something. Number 24 is Elden Ring.
Ah. Yeah, that was going to show up at some point. Have you played any Souls
Oh,
games?
that's 2022. That's fairly recent, isn't it? I remember. I was going to say I didn't think it was that long ago. Everyone was going, "Oh my god!" for that game. So,
Yeah. Um, have you played any Dark Souls games?
no.
Okay.
Wait, I don't think so.
Because Elden Ring is basically like it's I mean it's the next how to phrase it
The next Metal Gear,
it's the next Dark Souls game basically, directed
right?
by the same people and everything, it's, you know, from software. What the
Ah,
hell
yeah,
is
yeah.
this mission? Find a way
Yeah.
through the market, do not raise alarm. I've
Oh, I remember that.
completely forgotten what I'm supposed to do here.
No be killing.
I'm gonna YOLO. YOLOing worked? Huh. Okay. Okay, YOLO hasn't entirely worked just yet. Supposed to get out that way, right? Wait, where am I actually supposed to be going? These are the questions you should probably be asking yourself before you run into an enemy stronghold. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Oh, there we go. You raised the alarm. But yeah, Elden Ring is they took the formula, the Souls formula, and did a bit of a spin on it
Hmm.
by setting it in an open world. And I haven't actually played. I've played a bit of Bloodborne, which is a Souls game, but I haven't played too many of the. Where did it just put me? Oh, it put me here. Okay. Can I really not assassinate people? I totally can. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, Elden Ring. So like the from what I've heard from my brother who has played you know, Bloodborne as well as Dark Souls 1 and 3, putting souls into into an open world is apparently a match made in heaven. Because because Souls games, they're those tough as nails games, right? But they are action RPGs, and like any RPG, if you encounter something that's too difficult, you're well within your rights to, oh, that was a bad problemo, big mistakey to makey. Where am I? How am I gonna not die in this situation?
God, you're lucky.
So, yes. So you're well within your rights to just, you know, grind out some experience points. Now, in the case of the other Souls games, that really does just mean like beat up the same enemies close to where you are. But in an open world, that just means go out and explore. You know, that means do a different part of the game.
What did they do to you?
Which, of course, is more conducive to a fun experience.
Wait, have you rescued her brother already?
Yeah, this is him.
Did I? I thought that was like a whole really long mission chain that it took to get to that point.
I need you to trust me, Tuka.
You're
I guess
already
not.
in like prison break thing.
I'll try, my lord.
It's interesting.
I mean, he's not out yet.
That's true. Maybe I just dicked around and did so much side stuff before I got to save her brother that it felt so much later than it is now.
That's what I like about open world games. It's their blessing and their curse, because as we said before, it means that the pacing is always dictated by the player as opposed to the game. I'm sure we said that at some point. That was either something I said to you or something I said to my brother.
Keep moving.
You can climb those crates.
But yeah, Elden Ring on that position, that seems about right.
I just got because I'm starting the opening of Watch Dogs 2, whatever.
If he made
Yeah.
it out alive.
So it gave me because there were some other online there's some players in the area, so it was like, oh, we'll give you the online tutorial, whatever.
Oh yes, that's just perfect. Woo!
When I was like on a direct beeline for a mission waypoint, and because I just happened to drive through where they were, because the tutorial spawned when I was like driving full speed, it put me totally in their thing, which for them then shows that I am trying to hack them. I didn't even initiate the hack, I just drove straight past them, and they both started chasing me, and it wouldn't let me progress, and then they just completely, because I got none of the skills or anything, I've literally got no hacks, because I'm that early in the game. So they just basically stopped my car, wrecked it, and then killed me, and I was like, thanks, Watch Dogs,
Wow.
for literally not giving me a choice whether to do this online thing or not. It was like, you will do it, or you will die. And I did both. I did it, and I died.
You will do this mission and you will die.
You will
Don't
do
you
this
mean-
mission, and you will fucking like it!
Don't you mean or die? No, I mean and die. What was that? 24th spot? 24th spot was that for Elden Ring?
They're coming.
Yes.
Get in the tall grass.
Number 23, I think is going to cause some fucking anger for us both, to be honest.
Go right ahead.
23, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Rolling with Mongols.
Huh? They already put Vice City on it, didn't they?
Yeah, but that said, do you think that we would look back on Grand Theft Auto 5 so badly if it wasn't for
The
years?
milking.
But yeah, if online wasn't such, hadn't kind of ruined our opinion of
Where you can see most of his habit.
5 so much.
That's true. To be fair, that is true.
Because, like, I feel like Grand Theft Auto 5, the game, the original story mode,
Taka,
was, you know, pretty good. I don't know if it's 23 good,
about to die.
but it was good. And then the online was pretty good with friends.
I already know.
And then they just kept going.
We have some
And going. And going. And it's
Until
now-
I ended up hating both myself and Rockstar. And you!
I'm not built for riding all night.
No, I joke. I only hate Rockstar.
It's
and
good-
myself.
I mean, it's a good. You shouldn't hate yourself.
have a forge. One
No, I hate myself in the game, though.
Place
Oh
to
right.
There's a difference.
Maybe someone
Ah,
should
yeah.
try.
Okay, I totally get you. I totally get you.
What do you say, Taka?
I like the outfits that you can make,
I'll do anything.
Yes, that is true. The
And-
cosplay
like-
opportunities.
and it's fun to you know go in there
Can't stay
every so often and muck about in it. It's a nice
It's a fun game to just do
nice
our own
sandbox.
thing in.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
sandbox type thing.
I mean, because honestly, I've had more fun just playing, like, doing the hunt kind of chase, like, Terminator games that we do on our own in the open
yeah,
world.
yeah.
A hell of a lot more than any of the, like, missions that Rockstar have created.
Going to save them.
That's the thing, they nailed it with the open world early on.
Mm.
You know,
What's a forge? I'll join you when I can.
I've
and
never
then,
actually
yeah.
fully played
Thank you.
GTA 5. Funnily enough,
What, the story mode?
yeah, I've never actually fully played story mode. I've got like what feels like about halfway-ish a few times. And then
have you
it's always been so
played...
long that I've been like, oh damn, I should play from the start again so I know what's going
But-
on.
The halfway point exactly is that heist where you use a garbage truck to ram a bank truck off the road. Have you done that mission? Have you done that heist?
I've not ever played GTA 5 halfway. As it turns out,
Okay.
that is the exact halfway point. Then I've never
That's the
played
exact
it halfway.
halfway point mission. Yeah.
No way! Oh my god, I'm worse than I thought.
Well, I mean, you could be pretty close to it.
Yeah, maybe it's the next. Maybe it was the next thing
It
a
was
couple of times.
possibly, yeah, because you had to do like some setups where you get some boiler suits and shit, and then it was that mission.
Yeah, does GTA 5 deserve to be that high? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I would say yeah, I'd probably put it higher on the list, but still put it somewhere because it's still a good game. Like as hard as that has been milked, as hard as hard as online has been milked. Like
I don't think it diminishes the quality of the game. It just diminishes my opinion of
yeah,
the whole thing.
and the company
Yeah.
because they.
Although
don't
that
seem
said,
to be
they
capable.
then did bring out Red Dead 2, which is
Yeah, they did Red Dead 2, and then instead of putting any effort into Red Dead 2 online, they just made it and left it there. And it's like, that would be so cool if they added more content and missions and stuff to do. But there was just basically that one mission chain for what it seemed like. And that's
Also, they
kind of
seem
about
to kind
it.
of be so afraid of the toxicity of the GTA player base that
Yeah.
they then actually made it actively difficult to find your own friends on the Red Dead Online map. Because, God, the number of times we've been playing together, and it's
it's
like,
like, oh, how
Rad
do I
Mox is
join
in the
you? How do I
area.
join you?"
Great. Are you going to show me where he is? No.
It's like
Oh.
you gotta meet up over you got to do the most immersive thing and call your fellow
And fast
cowboys
travel
over
and
your phone.
teleport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the only way we've been able to find each other sometimes has been, hey, let's fast travel to Saint Denis. Okay, great, we'll meet each other there then. Turns out we were like five meters away from each other before, but...
Well, he's right there. Oh, there's a bear. Oh, there's two bears. Kill enemies with Way of the Flame. I'd love to, but I can't be bothered. I like Way of the Flame, I just wish I could make it last a little longer. God, I can just let those bears kill a bunch of these guys. Come on, man. They weren't looking at me.
Just because they were not looking does not mean they cannot see.
First, I'll kill this guy. Okay, now I'll kill this guy. Okay, now I'll kill this guy. Now I'm dead. Damn it. Yeah, so what's after GTA 5?
Number 22 is a fairly recent game, Deathloop.
Deathloop?
Yes.
Hmm.
Do you know of Deathloop?
The name sounds relatively familiar, and I can't place why. Why can't I do Dance of Wrath anymore? Or does the circle only appear when you get 3 spheres of... Oh, okay, the circle's there. Sorry, I was just making noise, basically.
I'm disappointed more in myself, but I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about, and I have played that game. Circle of Death? What the? What's the Circle of Death?
No, not the Circle of Death. I mean Dance of Wrath. You know, like that, the one where you press L and R. There weren't any circles around my circles.
Oh, right. It's that special move thing. Okay. Number 21, Dark Souls.
That is bold, putting Dark Souls over Elden Ring.
Number 20, Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2. Ah, a game I've heard of. And that's about it.
Oh, fucking hell. What the shit?
I mean, Jesus, like, chill out. It's just like a game I don't know about.
No, oh god, I've just seen what's fucking coming up in the next few ones. Bloody hell. Okay, number 19, Dreams. Don't know what that is.
Dreams?
Yeah.
Dreams.
No.
Isn't that the game where you make stuff?
Make dreams?
I feel like it's like a... I feel like it's like... It's... I guess it could be something else, but that sounds like that game where you make stuff.
If you say dreams, I'm gonna laugh so much.
I mean, it might be dreams, it might not be dreams.
I mean, it's
like...
called Dreams. That would make sense.
It's like, I've seen some videos of people recreating, like, Zelda dungeons in Dreams. And and stuff like that, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's definitely something where you make things. I'm not sure if it's, like, 3D environments or something. Ah, that didn't look jank at all. Come on, man, I just killed him dead. You really want this fight? Honestly, the most useful thing in this game is, like, against spear enemies, that perk where if you're doing a heavy attack, it auto parries. Like, yes, you shall not survive. And they've put dreams over all that stuff. Okay, whatever floats your boat. Why haven't I got this area? Oh wait, is it gonna go pop when I... Yeah, it is. Hammer and Forge, or Blood on the... Let's do Blood on the Grass. Let's continue this quest line. Streams took, what was that, 23, 22?
19.
19!
We're getting down there now, man.
We're lower than I thought, okay.
Yeah,
So number 18.
Okay, number 18, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Mass Effect. Yeah, BioShock. I hear are the creators of this series. It's a sci-fi thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the one where they did that cool thing with the character. Like, you name the character, but you only name the character's forename. Like, you only give their like first name. Their surname is always Shepard. So you get to name your character, but since it's all voiced, like
they just call them Shepard all the time.
Yeah, they all just call you Shepard, which I find to be a nice little like happy medium.
Yeah,
because you know, like it doesn't sound off. Like, it's all professional. They're all being very professional about it. So it's like, yeah, of course they're going to be using your surname. That's, you know, you're their commander. You know, all this stuff. But you still like feel like you've named your character, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you still get that little immersion factor. But yeah, it's like an RPG-esque, well, not RPG, but like it's like a third-person shooter with RPG elements. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm amazed how many of these you actually know, because I was just going through this list being like, what the fuck, oh yeah, that one, I like that one, you know, just skipping over loads of them, because I just, you know, I have a very kind of, you know, fuck it all, I like superheroes, and I like, I don't know, I like open world, but I don't like crazy, you know, I don't know, I don't really know how I kind of find games, I just kind of do.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Number 17, and though I love this series, I don't know if 17 is quite deserving of this game and this franchise. Despite me personally liking it, I feel like Life is Strange, the first one, does not really fit at 17. Especially considering both Before the Storm and the comic series set post the first game that's actually written by a woman. Life is Strange, like, pales in comparison to the stuff that came after it. Before the Storm is incredible. And the comics, again, I really like. But, like, and even though I, you know, Before the Storm, maybe replay the entire first game to get the other ending. And I enjoyed that a lot. I just, you know, it's another game that I have fun with and I have a kind of connection to. But I don't know if quality-wise, you know, is... I don't know. What it sets out to do, I think it does well. It's just, in comparison to other games, I don't know if... You know, it just seems like an odd placement. Not choice, but placement. I don't know, what do you think? You kind of, you seem to give a similar to that.
I actually haven't played it. I know a little bit about Life is Strange, and it's... I know of Before the Storm, for instance. Bloody hell, why am I still not in Stone Stomp? There we go, damn. That's so much to ask. I lost 2 bubbles of whatever this is called, resolve to that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know of that. It's one of those games that's in Telltale style, like, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think it might be pretty... I think it might have been on PlayStation Plus, so you might have added it to your library but never downloaded
really?
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe check it, because it's one of those games that you should play. Although, Honestly, I'd play Before the Storm first if that was.
Made it.
Oh, you kidding me?
Is this about 16?
Mongols
That was 17. Oh, I forgot. What do you mean fast travel unavailable?
Oh, it was
Oh,
about Watch Dogs. Okay.
yeah. No, I just died while doing something on the way to a mission, and I forgot that if you die, it doesn't like
Then we have to go.
even if
Now.
I didn't think surely I'm not in a mission. I've just gotten a mission. It was just a cutscene. I'll go and just find it on the world. No, it's you're in a mission now. So if you die, just doing whatever stuff you want to do in the open world,
Oh, then you get sent back to.
you get sent back to outside the bloody, space or whatever. Because I'm playing on the realistic difficulty, so you could not take a bullet for shit.
How many survivors are left?
A few families. Mostly farmers and blacksmiths. Not worth much in a fight.
Yeah, so fun things.
By yourself?
Anyway, number 16, Hitman 3.
Get more arrows.
Ah, Hitman.
Stuck in buildings.
They'll have to do.
I'm not sure if it was on PS Plus or something, but there was Hitman 2
Over here by the Mongols.
that my brother recently played.
Hmm.
And it's such a different game than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
For now.
Have you played any Hitman by chance?
No, I think I played a bit of one of the new ones, and it didn't grab me.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like it.
I was expecting I was expecting, kind of
Where to find it.
stealth
Use it to lure them in.
kind of game, but it's more like it's honestly more like a puzzle game in a way, especially
Yeah.
with the challenges and how it challenges you to like change outfit every 10 seconds and like do this, don't do this mission but do this mission, or
Yeah.
do this mission only using these following materials. And it's an interesting play style. I was and the other thing I was surprised at was the tone. I was expecting one of those grounded, gritty, serious stories, but it's a little more silly and tongue in cheek. Like especially with how over the top some of the like
Castle Canada.
you know methods of killing the people
No
are.
one see you.
Yeah.
This town has a forge.
A good time in general.
The best.
Should it go up that high? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. It doesn't seem like it's.
There's no time. The Mongols.
I mean, that's really high.
It is yeah, that's what a lot of these are
Really
thinking.
high.
If a game doesn't make you go, oh my god, that's incredible,
Yeah, because we're nearly at the top 10.
we are, that was, okay, so 15, Metal Gear Solid 3, Subsistence.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, that's what all of these at this point should be telling us. That's what our
Yeah.
reaction should be
Yeah.
to every single one of these. And it isn't. Number 14.
Getcha.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Because, yeah, number 14. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Ooh. So they've placed that over, or I guess they're just. But it's interesting
Well,
they chose Miles
they've-
as opposed to like.
Yeah,
the...
they've omitted the first game.
Mm.
I mean, and I guess, they basically did improve everything that was in that original game. But, I don't know.
I mean,
'Cause-
what is Miles? Is Miles intended to be its own like?
Well,
full
Miles
game, or is
is
it more
kind
of a
of lost
standalone
legacy
DLC?
to Uncharted 4.
Ah, okay.
I feel like it's, a smaller game that was possibly supposed to be a DLC, maybe, but they decided to, because they maybe wanted a bit more of a time skip and they maybe wanted to give it a bit more oomph,
Yeah.
they decided to make it its own thing as a kind of in-between to Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I've heard that referred to as standalone DLC. What the flipping, bro? How do I keep not changing to the stance I want to use? I've heard that referred to as standalone DLC,
Hmm.
which, I mean, I find that to be, it's a useful enough descriptor.
Yeah.
Yukio? Yes, Taka needs help with the forge.
I mean, I think that's just.
My wife
I don't know.
and
Yeah,
sister
because
are
it's like,
Lead me to them.
you know,
Quickly.
I fucking love Miles, especially the comic character, and I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that I kind of his game version just I don't think is as cool as say the Spider-Verse or the original comic version.
Hmm.
And so, you know, I was really excited for the game. And there's all of those feelings kind of mixed in there, and I don't know, I just think but also the fact that the story of Miles is very similar to the story of the original Spider-Man. In the fact that the villains are basically the same.
Look at me.
Yes, my lord.
But I don't know, I think it's just I think basically they're probably putting it down to the fact that it released on next gen, it was definitely enhanced by a load of things. It came with the first game anyway on PS5 with the remaster thing. And it improved the swinging and stuff and had quite a lot more life to it in just its general thing. But I think the first game is a better game
Yeah.
overall, while Miles is possibly a more interesting game with a lot more flourish.
Yukio sent me.
Hmm.
He's alive.
I don't know, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Need to get in there.
Yukio, I thought I lost you. An animal.
Okay, this is another one because
Only when
despite finishing this game, I have very weird feelings about it.
the forge.
Number 13, Control.
Ah, I've been meaning to play that for a while. Oh,
It is a really good game, but it's weird because it's like I think it's ironically almost the opposite of Miles in that it's a really good game, but with the core kind of like the things that you want it to be able to do. You know, you'd think the like common sense stuff of like, oh, we're going to make it easy for you to find the DLC missions to start them, or you know, it's like, oh, we're going to make it easy for you to move around with the map on, which it was when I first played it, and then they released an update and they made the map harder to see. And it's not a map menu; it literally overlays over the screen, so you can still move around with the map up. Which used to be really useful because it's a fucking maze. Right? So,
oh, not today. Crap.
like, the world of that game is a massive, crazy maze, which is quite difficult to navigate. So you need that map.
Hmm.
And it was really useful to have to be able to overlay it over while you were playing, so you could see where you were going if you were going in the right direction to where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
So for them to then make the map quite hard to see, and it hard and it hard. Where?
There's a bit of a kick in the teeth because like if that's a resource that you're relying on, or you
Yeah.
come to rely on.
Like, I really enjoyed the main game, and then I got the DLC, and I've never been able to start the DLC because I can't fucking find where you start them.
Thank you, my lord.
And it's one of those things where it's like I'm too stubborn to look it up, and it might be really obvious,
Family from the house across the river
but
hasn't come back. Damn.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just
Don't light the forge until we come back.
I just can't find it, and it's like oh, go and talk to the person that it makes the most sense to give. You know, it's like, oh yeah, and they say, okay, go down to this place, and I'm like, okay, I'll go down to this place, and it's like you could literally see a little thing where it's like you're in the right place, but where do you actually start it? Oh, we don't know. We don't want to tell you. Okay, number 12, Resident Evil 2.
Oh, they put 2 over 4.
Apparently.
That's interesting. Is it the remake or is it the original?
The moment
Um,
just across the river.
released 2019.
My brother
Oh, okay, the remake. Oh, the remake. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's just I wouldn't put it over Resident Evil 4.
Hmm. Number 11, Persona 5 Royal.
Hmm. Now, Persona is a series which... Oh, crap! This guy is here, has a shield, and wants to kill me. Persona is a series, the gameplay's been getting better and better. The story's been getting worse and worse.
Oof.
And, you know, in a lot of cases... For a lot of genres... For a lot of genres, you can be like, yeah, well, I'd be like, yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the gameplay's the most important part of a game. So, but when it comes to JRPGs that are JRPGs that are told in visual novel style, that are clearly intending to have a good focus, a big focus on the story, and the story being an important part of it, you kind of have to have a good story with that, and to see that the stories seems to be going. 3 had a damn good story. It was really nicely written, and it got its themes across really well. You know, all that jazz, all the stuff you want to hear, all the buzzwords. But and 4 was pretty good. 5 is good at the time. And then you look back on it, it's like, wait a minute. That was all kind of like weird, wasn't it?
It's like we don't talk about that one. We just don't. We just smile and wave, pretend it didn't happen.
It's it's hard to get across my feelings on a 100-hour story in a few minutes.
That's fair.
But yeah,
you saved us.
This fight's not over. Make it to the forge.
Yes.
it's just a little like.
Everyone stay close to me.
There's just something about it.
Just something about it. It's just like
It's a long story. The way he killed him.
they're losing their edge on how to write these, and it's like. Uh-oh, I dread to think what Persona 6 is going to be like if it follows this trend.
Number 10.
Okay, so we are now officially
We are in the top 10.
10 Sony games of all time!
PlayStation games, not Sony.
PlayStation games of all time.
Number 10,
Kicking
Disco
it off.
Elysium, The Final Cut.
Disco Elysium, now there's a game whose name I know.
How the fuck do you know so many of these random vague games? Or are they not random and vague and I just don't know anything?
Nothing about it. I also know absolutely nothing about it. I've just heard the name a few times.
Oh, okay,
You know
so
what, I'll
mostly
get
you're just fucking with me then.
Well, for Disco Elysium, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough, you got me there. Number 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. Can we say that one's fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. We were bigging it up while we were complaining about GTA. So.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to stay consistent here.
Oh my god! I didn't realise he was there! What the How long was
Is the
that
big
guy?
boy standing behind you?
The guy with a
Fuck, he
spear.
died! He's dead! He dead!
Oh man. I did that to get more resolve and now I used it all up on healing.
Oof.
Big oof. Sad boy
Big
hours.
oof.
Yeah, number 9, Red Dead 2. Yeah, fair enough. Good game.
Like the forge, Tucker. What about the Mongols?
Good, you know,
Won't risk destroying
nice
this place.
immersive stuff, open world. Oh, they look, the horse's balls shrink when it's cold. I don't know why they bothered with that, but
I think I might have you saying that on recording now because I just got a fucking wacky clip from Watch Dogs 2, and I'm fairly sure you're just going to be randomly talking about horse balls in the background of that.
oh my god.
I was in a shop and I happened upon an online like bounty hunt thing. So the idea is you help out the police take down a player that's like got a massive wanted level. So I was doing that, the police ran me over while I was doing the takedown on the guy, and then they shot me while I was doing the takedown.
Where is this guy? Oh, there's more.
So that was a great use of my time and the police's budget. Number 8, Metal Gear Solid, released 1998.
Ah, the first one.
Yes.
I really hate these guys. I don't know if I'd put it over 3. I mean, it's under the... Are you... but yeah, I don't know if I'd put it over 3, because I feel like in terms of, you know... Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 is the more influential one. It kicked off a lot of stuff. A lot of things are a lot of stealth games and games in general owe, you know, pinches of, you know, story or gameplay or this, that, and the other to Metal Gear Solid, and that's true. But at the same time, from a purely mechanical standpoint,
there's other ones that you put above.
Yeah, it's like oh, this is a shambles. Yuna's dead. Oh, Yuna's not dead. Okay, I'm not gonna complain actually.
Yuna's mostly dead.
But yeah, the third game is from a purely mechanical standpoint objectively better than it. You know, it expanded like a sequel should. It expanded on everything that its predecessors did. So I mean, you know, fair enough. The first one, well, I say first, but it's actually the third game, is more influential and all that. Yes, of course it's
oh Jesus, a load of dogs.
Oh, this godforsaken yeah, because Metal Gear Solid is the third game in the series because the first two are Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. Metal Gear Solid is called Metal Gear Solid because it's the first 3D one. And instead of just saying 3D,
they said Metal Gear Solid.
Kojima wanted to say solid because like it's 3D, it's a solid object kind of thing.
Ah, interesting. It's a weird kind of naming convention.
Yeah, and but then
I thought it was because he was called Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Was he just called Snake before then?
No, he was always Solid Snake. I imagine that played a part in it as well, like the fact that he's Solid Snake, like kind of happy accident kind of thing.
Yeah. Are you ready for number 7?
Yeah, you know what I am.
God of War 2018.
God of War 4. Has God of War 1 or 2 or 3 been in this yet?
No, I don't think any of them.
I mean, okay, but like God of War 4 or God of War
Is it
2018?
2018? Yeah.
It's yeah, it's despite the fact that it's just called God of War, it's not like a reboot or a remake. I mean, it's a soft reboot in the sense that like it is a sequel to God of War 3. Like God of War 3 happened, and then this is now happening, kind of thing. It's a continuation of the story, but it's a new saga. You know, it's a new we're in a new location. You're still playing as Kratos, but that's one of the only like connecting things to the previous games. So like, yeah, soft reboot kind of thing, I guess you could say, but it is a sequel as well. And and also it's basically a different genre. It's more of a Western RPG with a map and like quests and the style of like. No, it's not like.
Strong komatsu weapons.
I wouldn't. I don't think I'd call it an open world game per se, but it also kind of is.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know if you've seen any God of War gameplay, and that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Can of worms.
Yeah, it's
Kettle of fish.
It's more of a the original God of War, saga. God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3, all of those ones. They're all in a hack and slash style. Bit of beat 'em up, bit of maybe a little bit of stylish action thrown in there with the different combos that you can do. But it's
Yeah.
They're so different that I mean I guess they're representing the God of War series through this one in their list, but it feels like such a different thing to me.
Yeah.
And of course Ragnarok's coming out in just a few months now, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a. I don't know if it's a cinematic trailer or if it's just a trailer, but.
I'm excited to play that. Or rather, I would be excited to play that if I'd finished God of War 4 yet.
Yeah. I couldn't get into God of War 2018, or God of War 4, or whatever. I came back to it loads of times, and again, it's just something I just couldn't get into.
The original games, if you can get them, I'm not sure how you can get them. I got them on the PS3. There were some HD collection thingies.
Right.
Because God of War 1 and 2 were on the PS2, and then 3 was on the PS3. But they're good, fun action romps. They're not too long, because they're that style of game. New saddle available? How? Are there New Game Plus saddles? But yeah, I'd say pick one of those up if you get the chance, because they're very fun. Like they're very fun, and they're not too much of a time investment either. Like they rely more on replays with different difficulties and costumes and kind of thing to stretch out their longevity, as opposed to other games which just have lots and lots of content that you basically are intended to play through once, maybe twice, kind of thing. Because like open worlds, they don't expect you to play it again and again and again, but that style of game, like stylish action games that are quite short, they expect you to play again, and maybe on different difficulty or some kind of modification to make it show off your skills, kind of thing. But yeah, God of War 1 and 2 and of course 3, there was a lot of I mean they were massively popular, of course they were. I mean they put Santa Monica on the map, and yeah, there's a lot of things that that other action game series have taken from God of War. Ignore voice crack.
I would if you stopped mentioning it.
Wait, return the banners? Do I have all the banners? I guess it's just full of.
Maybe it's continuing your. Oh no, is it? I think it's the tutorial of Return the Banners, so it's getting you to go to the place. I remember that.
You know what? I'll just do it anyway. Because DMC1 pioneered the modern action game. It's the granddaddy. But then God of War, arguably took that and expanded on it in the way that everyone else would subsequently.
Lord Adachi even helped my uncle improve the fortifications of
Yeah.
But yeah, God of War.
I'm getting the sense that you agree with this placement then, somewhat.
Yeah,
or maybe you were kind of considering the earlier ones would be better choice for this placement than God of
Yeah,
War
just
4.
because I feel like they have more legacy to them. They've got more. You know, they're the ones that. You know, it's like how they put Metal Gear Solid higher than Metal Gear Solid 3. I presume because of its legendary status and how other companies, you know, took pinches from it and took inspiration from it when they were making their own, you know, stealth segments or boss fights or this, that, and the other's a story, you know, like that kind of thing. And similarly, action games, you know, lots of action games just took a lot of what God of War did. It started the modern stylish action in a way.
Yeah.
But God of War 4 is good as well.
In its own right.
In its own right, it's a good game. It's just I think I prefer the original series myself. Although it does tie in like with how, you know, from like a gameplay standpoint, the differences in gameplay, you know, in genre between the two games actually does tie into the story as well. Because God of War 4, as you've played, it's the combat style is, you know, like slow and methodical, and you're being careful with your surroundings and all of that, which fits perfectly with this older and wiser Kratos.
Yeah.
And in the hack and slash games, which are, you know, mashing out combos and brutally beating up enemies, where he's a bit younger and a bit more angry and fierce and brutal. It makes it makes sense with the story why the game is the way it is, because it's also a sign of Kratos' growth as a character.
Yeah.
Which is a nice touch. And it's still a good game. It's just I have more fondness for the originals as it stands. Maybe Ragnarok will change that. Who knows? Like if they can expand on what they did in God of War 4, which I still don't know why they didn't just call it God of War 4, because it's.
Well, I think it was a bit of a reboot, wasn't it? In a way.
In a way, yeah, it is. It's just I find it awkward to. They could have given it a subtitle.
If they called it 4, I think they might have people might have thought that they'd have to play 1, 2, and 3 to totally get it, and I don't think that was really necessary. So because it was it was a soft reboot, they didn't want to risk, you know, kicking anyone off. So.
On the other hand, could they not have added a subtitle or anything? I'm just nitpicking because I don't
God
like
of
having
War,
to...
God of War 2018 subtitle. It's also called 4 for the people who have played all the others, but it's not really called 4 for the newcomers. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's just I find it awkward when two games are named the same thing. And it's like, I want to talk about... If I say God of War, do I mean God of War on the PS2 or the one on the PS4? No, I have to say more to qualify it further. It's like, can't I just say the name?
Never watch movies with the same title, Bradley. It will break you.
I'll try. But avoid that crossroads for now.
Where were we? Oh yeah, we're just finishing up on God of War 4.
I know, yeah.
God of War PS4.
Number 6, Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, Shadow of the Colossus. Have you played Shadow of the Colossus?
Nope.
Beautiful game. You would not believe that it was a PS2 game.
It was a PS2 game? Jesus, really? 2005, you're right. Crazy.
Now, Shadow of the Colossus is the much more well-known sibling of a loose trilogy of games, starting with I'm gonna say Ico. I'm not sure if you have to pronounce it Eco or Ico, but which was
either way,
again on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting little puzzle platformer kind of thing, with an interesting, you know, background and atmosphere. And Shadow of the Colossus got massively, massively, massively popular, as I'm sure you know, because like it's one of those games that, you know, you've probably heard the name at least, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And part of the reason is probably because they pushed the PS2 to its absolute flipping limits. Which, I mean, granted, it is like at 2005. It's you know, one of the last games in the PS2's life, and I always find that there's a bit of overlap in, you know, like graphical quality between a late generation and the early games in the next generation, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like Infamous One, which is a PS3 game. I was playing it and I thought, wait a second, is this a PS2 game? You know, but like
Wow.
late PS3 games, you know, look like early PS4 games.
Yeah, that's true.
And like late PS4 games probably look like early PS5 games, and
Yeah.
it's like that sort of thing. Like there's some late PS1 games. Okay, maybe didn't look like PS2 games. That is probably one of the
Yeah, I think
bigger jumps
the
still.
earlier you go, the less like that, because it was the console step ups that really.
Yeah, but they get better at using the hardware because the gap, so to speak, is smaller between later console generations, and they just get so good at using the hardware that they've got
Yeah.
that it makes up for that difference. And but yeah, Shadow of the Colossus was one of those, and it takes the aesthetics and mysterious like lore and story of the first game, loose trilogy wise, and has you exploring vast expanses looking for the titular colossi. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that was
Colossi.
really about to be
More.
embarrassing.
Yeah. A number of Colosses.
Colossus is. But yeah, I've never actually played it myself. I've seen a few. I've seen it a bunch, and it's it had its like, especially with its
Time.
Colossus boss fights. It had some games did, like, you know, look at that and think, oh my god, you can really make giant enemies that you have to fight. And
Yeah.
do it like this, and, you know, clamber around stuff. That, like, climbing was very much part of the experience, and, you know, you climb the environment, and then, you know, you still climb the Colossus to try and defeat it. So the gameplay is it's you know, it makes sense, so to speak, for want of a better way of phrasing it. Like, it's not like they're two separate things. But yeah, Shadow of the Colossus, legendary game. They did make another
But number
one.
6.
As I said, there was, because it's a loose trilogy. Like, the third one is called The Last Guardian. It sadly
Oh,
didn't
that I
receive...
have got.
Ah, interesting.
I haven't played it, but I've got it.
Yeah, it didn't receive as much fanfare as its more.
Others.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm sure it's still good. I haven't played it myself either. Never beat Ico to begin with, because I was a dumb kid and it was hard as balls. But yeah, Shadow of the Colossus definitely deserves to be on this list.
Yeah.
Number 6, was it? Is that
It was number 6, yeah.
that may be a little high, but, you know, it's got the credentials, it's got the clout. I'd probably put it somewhere in the top 30, if not the top 20. Tops the number 6 position, maybe not from a personal standpoint, but I can see why they did, at least.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll change my mind if I ever get around to playing the thing.
But
Because
it's true.
think we got it on PS Plus a few months ago.
I think we did, yeah.
So it's probably worth a try one of these days. That leaves us with the top 5 then.
Yeah, number 5, Final Fantasy 12.
12.
And it's...
Okay, so we've had Final Fantasy VII Remake. We've had Final Fantasy VII 12. Where the hell is Final Fantasy 10?
On holiday. Calm, Brad.
I'm just being silly because, of course, Final Fantasy X is the only one I've actually played. Because I was always skeptical about the Final Fantasy series. It always seemed like, to me, it always seemed like it got so much praise, and you know, it always seemed like, oh, this has got to be overhyped. There's no way that it's, you know, that these are that good. I played 10, and I was like, oh my god, it's actually that good. I haven't got around to playing other games in the series quite yet, but but yeah, 10 is a flipping amazing game. 12, I believe, that's that one, isn't it? Oh, what is it called again? Zodiac Age. It had like a remake or something called Zodiac Age, I think. And it was interesting because this came after 11, right? And 11, despite being called Final Fantasy 11, is a Final Fantasy MMO. You know, massively multiplayer online RPG experience. Like World of Warcraft and all those good games. And interestingly enough, they took some of the elements of the MMO style and put it into 12 in terms of mechanics. That is not to say that 12 is an online game, but to say that they took some of the mechanics from 11 and put it into 12 as a single player standalone experience.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting concept. I've also heard that it's terribly grindy, which may be because they use some MMO mechanics. Let me end this guy's suffering. Okay,
Oh, Jesus.
but yeah, they ended up... now, 11 has since been, what's the word? Shut down. But you may have heard of Final Fantasy 14, which is the current online Final Fantasy game. Man, it's gonna... Oh, wait, that'd be spoilers if I said anything.
Don't worry about it. Well, I'm probably not going to play the Final Fantasy.
Oh no, I meant about how Ryuzo's going to betray us. Whoops, damn it! Oh, god damn it! Whoa, me in my big mouth!
That was a lot of emotions, Brad. That was a lot.
Yes, but yeah, 12. 12 is an interesting one to put there when there's... where, you know, there's much more highly acclaimed... Okay, fair enough, they did 7 remake, so I doubt they could get away with putting 7 again. But, you know, there's 8, there's 10... Those are all on Sony, on PlayStations. Could they have put 4 in? I don't know if 4 came out on PS4.
You've gotten more salty and more kind of decisive as we've progressed up this list.
Once we free our home,
well, when it gets to the higher ranks, it gets a
little...
Well,
they mean more, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I just don't know about putting 12 on there. And then 13 was heavily reviled by a lot of people. Which, it actually was a trilogy as it happens. Because they made 13, they made 13-2, and they made 13-3. Which is a totally sensible way to number things.
hold your ground. I always do.
Oh, is this a... Oh god, it's a standoff. It forces you into a standoff.
I like how one of the most consistent rants that you've ever gone on, like me in comic books, is your disdain for the way they number stuff.
Yeah.
Certain video game franchises where they just mess up the numbering, I think, is your, like, biggest pet peeve.
It might be one of them, yeah. It very much... Oh, jeez! There's loads, actually. Let's thin the ranks a little bit. Yeah, 14 ended up being the next, like, online game, which, you know, it's still... It's been going for years, and it's still massively, you know, which, funnily enough, it has a bit of a history to itself, because when they first made 14, everyone flipping hated it. Now, what do they do under this... What was that? Okay. What do they do under this scenario? Well, they decide to wipe the slate clean and, you know, start over. Which, fair enough, makes sense. Here's the fun part.
Goes well.
Has improved.
Here's the fun part. They work that into the story.
How?
Well, basically, the world got reset. It got destroyed and then built anew.
We're starving.
In canon.
And I'm returning to my men empty-handed.
There's just something about that I find really, like...
Take me to your camp.
I can't even comprehend.
It's like you could have just wiped it and just started and just said, okay, that's it. We're cleaning the slate. No, that actually happened in universe as well. I don't know. There's just something about that. But yeah, 15, which is the most recent game in the series, is
There's 15 of them.
yeah, it's an action RPG. It's more of an action RPG. Takes elements from its sister series Kingdom Hearts to an extent.
Why didn't you tell me you were at combat?
And yeah, they're making 16. It's probably going to be either this year or the next year. Okay, actually, probably next year or the year after that. But yeah, it's good. Would I put 12 there? Maybe not. But they needed to put Final Fantasy at some point. He says, knowing they already put Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake is also action RPG, which is interesting because the first one was absolutely not. It was a turn-based. Like, you know, your standard idea of what a JRPG is, you know.
I always find it kind of weird when games go into and out of certain, what would it be called, game styles, or kind of...
Gameplay style sounds
fitting.
But yeah, the remake went full action RPG, which is a massive departure. It's also implied to not be like the same story, so to speak. Because there's been some changes here and there that imply that the events have already... They're doing one of those things where, oh, what if we put this change in? What if this character is actually time traveling from the events of the original version and knows what's going to happen? And yeah, that kind of wacky, zacky BS that happens in remakes sometimes. I have the game and I would love to play it at some point, but I haven't yet. I'll get around to it eventually.
Well, this next game you do have, actually.
Really? Number 4, is it?
Number 4. The Last of Us, Part 2.
Ah.
So
I can't
that's
say
number
much
4.
about it.
No.
That was weird.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna happen. It was when I got off of the horse.
We have a plan. Raid Fort Ohira and take back the food Mongols have stolen from our people.
Raid a fort? They'll kill us. Give us a moment. Come with me, Jin.
It's interesting. Well, no, I mean, I do appreciate that they put Part 2 on and not Part 1.
Ah, okay.
You know, it's interesting, I think, because I think it's mostly...
Between
it's
the
just
two,
because
which would you say is the better one? Loaded question. I know.
I think... I think Part 2 is superior in pretty much every way, but when I think of kind of like my... But I think almost, you know, I think Part 2 doesn't work without Part 1.
Ah, right. Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So, it's quite a difficult situation.
We should check the fort's defenses. Look for weak spots.
Because, you know, it's like Uncharted 4, I think, works without
A deal?
without, even though you'd probably get more out of it if you had been a fan of the entire franchise up to that point. Uncharted 4 works without Uncharted 1, 2, and 3.
I would never dream of replacing you. Man.
Yeah.
Give us a head start. We'll meet
Because
you at
it's
the
kind of like on the God of War type thing. It's like it was a soft reboot for the series in a way,
Mm. Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the new technology, the new generation, all of that stuff. So, but The Last of Us Part 2 is such a, it's a part 2. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not intended to be a standalone experience. It has
Yeah.
You have to. Have
And when I
already-
talk about The Last of Us, I talk about both games together, really, because it does very much feel, especially now that they're bringing out a part 2 version of part 1,
Yeah.
and
an
it's being
updated
called
re-release.
part 1.
She nursed me back to health.
That's quite significant, I think.
We're lucky.
Mm.
How did you
I
and your
think,
men escape?
but I think, basically part 1 showed us that games could tell great stories.
I'll see you at the
Part
other
2 showed us that great stories in games, that's not the be all and end all. It's going that extra. You've got to play it, really. You've got to play both of them. So it is how you feel, and kind of you play part 2 and you don't really realize what they're doing, and then when you do, there is nothing quite like playing part 2, which is why I think part 2 is the better product, and is why I'm glad they put that on the list rather than part 1.
Mm. So then, which game is taking the bronze medal?
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
It's a good game. I don't know if I'd give it the bronze medal.
Have you played it? Because you bought it for me.
Yeah.
But then I
I've
think
played
you
a
also
bit.
said you'd never played it.
Yeah, I just knew that it was good, and it
Yeah.
felt like something that would have been up your alley kind of thing.
Yes. No, you're right.
It was one of those times where I felt like taking a gamble.
It's a good gamble.
I mean, I don't usually like to do that because, like, the thing is, when I'm getting someone a gift, I don't want to take a gamble on the grounds
it's a
to get
worrying
some-
thing sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like, what if you don't like it? What if you don't like it? It's like, oh, great. Well, I could have got this person something they actually liked.
I think with gift giving, the main thing is, I always basically do something that I kind of have, and it's like, because can I share this with this person?
So she built a cemetery.
Because you can either get something that they have requested,
Yeah.
or you can get something that, if they haven't requested anything, get something that you think they'll like based on your own experience, or on whether you want to share this experience you've had with them and hope that they'll have a similar experience.
Yeah.
That's where I normally come from with gift giving.
Is everyone?
But yeah, Witcher 3, it's
Just the men who can fight.
very, very solid, very fun open world game
Sick.
Yeah.
We're enough
based
to
on,
raise
of
a
course, the
Better chance of seeing
the
cherry
novels,
blossoms in winter than getting that food.
and
No, I need to play more of it. I've played quite a bit of it actually, but the last time I played it, I stumbled upon this witch which insta-killed me from 50 yards away because it was, I don't know if it was like a DLC that had spawned too soon or whatever, but I was just this poor little level 1 or, like very early game with barely any kind of powers or experience in how to do combat, and then this witch just fucking spawned and just shot me and I was dead, and wasn't even trying to go into the place that she was guarding, it was just, I was there, I was riding past on the horse, and I was dead.
Store their signal. Attack.
This is where things get controversial with number 2,
Take their food.
okay.
and I think especially in its relation to number 4.
What? Okay.
Number 2, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Even though you haven't played Last
I
of Us
haven't played
Part
Last of Us
2,
Part 2. Funnily enough,
from what you do know about those two games, what do you think about Uncharted 4 as number 2?
I mean, it's
Or what
not
do you think about
even
Uncharted
my...
4 as number 2 anyway, in comparison to Ghost of Tsushima, which you know, was 42 This is 42 places of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it that high above... Oh, that's a dead person. I didn't need to assassinate a dead person. It's... I mean, obviously I prefer this game to Uncharted 4, but like... That's a bad position anyway, because Uncharted 4 isn't even my favourite Uncharted.
What is your favourite Uncharted?
It depends on the day, but it's always either 2 or 3.
That's interesting, okay. For me, it would be either 2 or Lost Legacy. Or,
God, yeah, there's Lost Legacy as well.
but that said, I kind of,
Are you kidding me? Oh man.
actually no, I think, yeah, it's got to be 2 or Lost Legacy for me. I feel like Uncharted 4 is fucking brilliant, but it's slightly too long.
Too long.
And I think Lost Legacy is a bit more succinct and has basically everything that's good about Uncharted 4 in it still, except it is omitting Elena, and Elena is just fucking amazing. I love Elena. She's so cool. So, which is why Uncharted 2 is up there, because Elena has a lot to do in Uncharted 2, and I like Elena, so.
Yeah. Uncharted 2 is Uncharted 4 is the second best PlayStation game.
Apparently.
I don't know. I mean, they're definitely good games. The Uncharted games, they're good.
Yeah, I think they're solid, but I just don't know, especially in relation to The Last of Us Part 2. It's like, I don't think Uncharted 4 is the best game that Naughty Dog have made.
Yeah, I mean, Crash 2 does exist.
Yeah, Crash 2 does exist. That's definitely what I was talking about.
I'm messing with ya.
I know. Well, no, I know how much you love. I mean, I think it's fair to say that our collective love of Naughty Dog's sequels, as in Crash 2, Uncharted 2, and The Last of Us Part 2, is well established at this point. I don't think we really need to get into the technicalities of which series' second game is the best. Because I think just the fact that
the second one, that's really weird.
That is really weird. I feel like because they always test the water in the first game and then be like, oh yeah, fuck it, people like this. We'll do what we actually wanted to do in 1 in 2.
And then they're kind of like 3's hit and miss because they're well, not hit and miss per se, but like.
Well, I think the thing that kind of brings Uncharted 3 down for me is that I rushed. Is that I think that, I found this documentary quite recently about the making of all of those games, and they said that one of the things they talked about was the stress of making Uncharted 3 after the success of Uncharted 2, where they kind of put all of their effort into making it this cinematic masterpiece. Was then they felt they had to raise the bar on what they did cinematically and set piece. Which is why you had, the burning house and the plane, and you had set piece after set piece after set piece.
The one
which I feel like kind of actually, it wore me out a bit, and it didn't rely on its own, on what Naughty Dog have always been good at, which is story.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always 2 over 3 because.
Yeah. It's usually 2 over 3 for me. It's just that,
yeah.
like, sometimes.
Well, you said
you
seesaw.
Yeah, because it's more often 2 than 3, but sometimes, like, I think about, like, the French manor segment, or the close quarters combat
Yeah.
in 3, or the grenade
Well, that's the
throwing.
thing. It's like, you know,
It's like those are really good. Yeah, it's my
the
favorite. And then I
gameplay in
think
3 is
about,
better. So
Yeah.
as we were talking, it's the set pieces, isn't it? Are probably
Yeah.
better in 3.
What did you have in mind?
But like, there's that one bit where he ends up getting kidnapped or something and goes and ends
Yeah,
up on
and
the boat.
that's an
And
amazing bit of
That's just
acting.
filler.
But
But it's just filler. It's like that just happens. It's not
it
part
is
of the
good
story.
acting filler.
Oh my, yes, good acting. But after I finished it, I was like, wait a minute, that was all
back
just
to back
that
to the
was
main plot.
That was an advert break. Like, because 2, every single beat is towards the same overarching plot, which
Yeah.
I love that about it. But the same can't be said for 3, because sometimes something has, like that the bit where he gets kidnapped, that happens, and then just after it's done, that's it. Like, let's forget about that now. We're done. That's back to the main plot. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
They don't know we took the fort, so they'll be waiting for reinforcements.
Like the fact that in 2 you go from the museum to the town, to climbing up the skyscrapers, to the train, to the
that train, man, I love that train.
To the village, to the mountains, to the temple, to the
monsters.
It all flows so well. Just beat after beat, like one thing to the next thing, and it all just feels so natural that's where it's supposed to be going. I neglected to listen to Ryuzo. Lead Ryuzo down the cliffs. Do not raise the alarm. Okay, perfect.
Well, I mean, you don't really need to listen to him. That's blah blah blah, lying to you, blah blah blah, gonna betray you, blah blah blah. See ya, sucker. That's pretty much his dialogue.
When you put it like that, yeah.
Would you like to know what number 1 is?
I'm
Any guesses?
mentally ready. I don't know. Ape Escape.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. Okay, that's interesting to put that over both Dark Souls and Elden Ring, but sure. That means there's 3 Souls games there.
Yep. But Naughty Dog still has more games on that list.
Yeah. Ah, I'm burning. I'm on fire. God damn it.
You've been on fire before.
Yes. So Ratchet and Clank was there. That's good. Combat nearby. What happened to we can't fight right now, Jin? We got to get onto that boat. And then I get onto the boat and it says, no, can't boat right now, Jin.
You gotta
get onto that fight.
You gotta get onto the fight. Get on the fight.
We need to move quickly.
Jin, get on the fight. Yeah.
Get in the robots, Shinji. Is it robot or mecha or Eva? What is it? What did they say?
Get it.
Bryn, help.
I haven't seen Evangelion.
Get in the robot. Get in the mech. I don't fucking know. I don't particularly.
Get in the mech, Shinji.
Yeah, I don't think it's mech. It's either get in the I don't fucking know. Get in the car.
That list was, it was certainly something.
It was certainly something. It was definitely a list. It had numbers and opinions.
You should have told me earlier.
Like I suppose I should say a little bit about Bloodborne. And Bloodborne it's a Souls game, but it takes a different spin on it by having more. Its aesthetic is more eldritch horror style. Like Cthulhu mythos and all of that kind of thing. And it works some parts of its plot into the gameplay, such as the rally mechanic, whereby attacking, where if you take some damage, but you but then after there's a brief window where if you deal some damage, you'll get that life back, which
Surprise them.
ties into the plot a little bit. And it's generally regarded as having, you know, a good. It's generally regarded as having, you know, good lore. Like the interesting thing about Souls games is that their plots, the actual plot that you're playing, generally is pretty basic because you've come into the because you basically there after the fact, after, you know, all the. Oh no! I got shot out of the sky there. But yeah, you're usually coming here after the fact, and the same can of course be. Would these people stop flinging arrows at me? It's like they want to kill me or something. Oh, look, I'm dead. But yes, Bloodborne is no exception to me being dead. Bloodborne is no exception to that, and it has very it has very rich lore, and it you know,
More Mongols. Take them.
the level designs, and that I have no resolve. How am I supposed to survive this fight? I'm dead again. Okay, this is gonna be a tough one.
I never quit.
Okay, Ryuzo,
More
I'm
Mongols.
gonna take that as inspirational. Yes. It has a more aggressive. It also eschews shields altogether, which is a mainstay of Dark Souls games, is having a shield and using that shield and being slow and methodical about the way that you take on the enemies, learning the patterns and eventually getting the hang of it so that you don't take any damage. But Bloodborne's more aggressive with its style. You have multiple weapons, you hacky, slashy kind of thing. And that, a lot of people consider that more beginner friendly than the other style of gameplay, which probably ties into it a little bit as well. And of course, it's got such a solid base of being a Souls game, created of course from Software themselves, so yeah, that was always going to be the case. It's also a PlayStation hit, so yeah, nice and cheap to get these days. And it was on PS Plus a while ago, and by a while ago I mean years ago. Is it deserving of, like, we're talking maybe top? Stop trying to kill me, man. I'm trying to talk about Bloodborne. Is it deserving of the literal #1 spot over the likes of Ghost of Tsushima, Elden Ring, Last of Us Part 2? God knows what else. Other things haven't come to mind. But
I don't
just a
know.
few off the top of my head? Probably not.
Probably not, but I mean, have you played Bloodborne?
Yeah?
Right, okay. Because sometimes you know a lot, and then sometimes you play it, and it's like, and I haven't played it, so I don't know, but I know that it is one of those games that will just go, that people fawn over.
Where the hell is Ryuzo then? Oh, he's over there.
I can understand, but I have no kind of quality gauge, so it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I don't have I know what I like, but I don't have that kind of,
Yeah, it's good. It's just also a bit like it's if you can take the balls to the wall difficulty of the series, then yeah, it's a good game. But like, you know, all the Dark Souls memes about, oh, get good.
yeah, no, I know.
It's worth a play if you've got the patience and the willingness to get good, but it's not for everyone. I'm not very good at Souls games myself.
I'm more of a kind of, you know, I don't think I've really ever played a game that for it to be difficult.
Yeah.
Especially not like, you know, off the bat. Like, I'll play a game, I think I don't, you know, there's no game that I play on the hardest difficulty first time. I always play stuff on normal, and then I move to the harder difficulties on replays.
Rizzo,
Because
we have to go.
by that point I'm established, I know what I'm doing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Let's get out
you
of
know,
sight.
if I'm playing a game for the challenge, it's because I'm well versed in that game, and it's now to test myself with, you know, it's
Yeah.
going from being super unstoppable as Batman in any of the Arkham games, and then being like, okay, let's now do it on the hardest difficulty possible, and you know, and then basically seeing how you do. That's the
Yeah.
fun of that bit,
Hand it over.
that kind of
Do
thing.
this together. You've got your own problem.
The Last of Us on the highest difficulty, it becomes so much more of a puzzle game.
Hmm.
I'll need you.
While that was kind of in the background, because the first time you play it for the story and whatever, and there's always that kind of like how you choose to use resources and bullets and whatnot. That's kind of like the puzzle on par with the actual puzzles in Uncharted. But in Grounded, every combat scenario becomes a proper, like, difficult puzzle. Can you sneak around? How many, you know, are you forced to take this on head on? Can you lose them if you've been forced to take this head on long enough to sneak around them? There's so many levels to it, and that's a difficulty spike that I really enjoy, because it's not actually just, you know, same exact thing, but the enemies are tougher and everyone's got more health. It's a completely different way of playing a game.
Hmm.
So that's that, but again, I would never do that first time. That's just not what, you know, games that are escapist fantasy for me.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, you know, what if you've got smoke powers? You know, what if you had a cool hood and a winning personality and arm blades? You know? That's, you know, what if you could web swing
What's
at
that
breakneck speed? What if you could
It's
ride
the arm
around in the
blades
Black
one?
Sands Inlet?
The what?
What is the Black Sands Inlet? Interesting naming.
What was? Wait, arm blades?
Assassin's Creed.
Oh God, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking like arms turning into blades or blades protruding from the arm.
No,
I was thinking.
that's Deus Ex.
Oh, really? I was thinking of
Or Cyberpunk.
what was that called again?
Or oh, what's the recent? Well, no, what's the prototype? I think.
Yeah, that's it. Prototype. Wait, is that one? That sounds like it is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. But no, I mean, what I was actually saying was, no, I was going for Assassin's Creed, although it
Yeah.
obviously doesn't, in the more recent ones, doesn't have the double arm blade.
Yes. Hmm. I think that's a good point to stop for now. We finished the list.
Yeah, you've finished your most recent mission.
Mm-hmm. Well, that list wasn't like it wasn't bad. It had a lot of the stuff that it needed on there, just in
Yeah.
weird positions. I mean, there's so many. There's so many that were like early on that I'd put over so many of the games that were later on. You know. I mean, some of that comes down to personal preference for sure, but like other times it's just a matter of you've really put Ghost of Tsushima there when you've put GTA 5 and Vice City there. Oh well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for probably Miles
Possibly
or
some
something.
Miles, yeah. Give Bradley a rest.